I guess I'm torn. I think we had a good day. I think the greedy side of me believes we should have had a better day. There was money left on the table. Memento Mori looked like he was running in, was a winner, and didn't win. I felt like we were a winner with Freedom Hill, although she raced her ass off. And then Aunt Lily. You know, we'll talk about everybody right now quickly. Quick rundown. I know I gave you a video earlier before it rained. Obviously, I did not miss the rain. Got soaked. The races were delayed a little bit, and it didn't go according to plan, although it wasn't horrible. We got lucky a little bit also. So the first race in Kentucky today at Gymboree, I didn't get to see the chart lines when I was talking to you guys. That's a hell of a mile. 56-3, 28-3. That's more like it. That's what we were looking for. Although the other side of that coin is the last horse to finish trotting and not make a break was Grand Slam Deal. 58-4, 29-2 is just not going to cut it, right? I need to see more from her. Obviously, this is an incredibly well-bred mare. She's always going to be worth very good money. But I just expect more from her. I liked her training down. I thought she had a lot to offer, and I just have not seen it yet. Now, a little side note, Eric is moving into Kentucky on Tuesday, and I have, I believe I'm going to go down there Friday. Now, as I say that, please understand that my schedule for the next 3 weeks is super fluid. The kids are going to be over here with me. Ava and Ollie, or Ava and Addie are coming over here. I know Wednesday I have to race at Northfield Park. Thursday, I believe, Scioto and potentially, the Meadows and potentially Scioto at night. Now, if I race at Scioto at night, there are no races Friday night at the Meadows. Maybe we'll have something Friday night at Scioto, but either way, I could potentially stay down in Southern Ohio with the girls on Thursday evening, get up, drive to Kentucky, or drive some of the way, stay overnight, get up, go to Kentucky, train the horses at Lexington Friday morning. Now the horses, the only ones I'm really talking about at this point are Memento Mori, one. Light, doesn't have to train hard, just want to see what's going on with him. I think I know what is going on with him, and I think I know exactly how to fix it. But I would like to get a feel for him. Now, having said that, tonight's the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, which is 9 days, I think, before the stakes. I have to check the stake calendar because I don't want it to be a wasted trip. The biggest thing I want to look at is what is going on right now with Westland Warrior. I need to know what is going on with this horse. Why is he getting pacey? He paced tonight. Obviously, I had a conversation with Marco after the race. He said, well, why is he pacing? I said, a lot of trotters will pace. They get out of gear, they get pacey and make a break, or they will pace and make a break. Now, tonight, he paced, hit his ankle. Not in a bad way, I'm told, but it did need a couple of staples. So maybe he can't train next Friday anyway. It's a Grand Slam Deal. What is going on with her? Is she just okay run-of-the-mill horse, or is something being missed? Did I miss something? Is something needs to be done? Do we need to change her gear, change her shoes? Is she capable of being a better horse right now? It's a big question. Memory and imagination. I know a lot of our clients that are Pennsylvania people are saying, why don't we go to the yard? Well, here's a little food for thought also. The more I thought about it, right after the race, I'm like, oh, I want to get him back up here, find out what is going on, and potentially race him in the yard. And then I thought to myself, the same Grand Circuit light type horses are going to show up. Spazzano and those horses will likely be in play at the Arden. It's not going to be a cakewalk. And I don't really want to come up here to have him trot in 53, try to trot his brains out to race for a small amount of money against horses that are tough. I think I'd almost rather leave him in Kentucky, prep him, find out what the hell happened today, prep him in Kentucky, and have him ready for Kentucky, for Lexington. Keep in mind, it is hot right now. Load a horse on a trailer, ship them 6, 8, 9 hours. Start all over, race them, ship them 8, 9 hours back. It's just not, it's not a smart move. And something that will come into play in a minute with Arson. Now, I briefly texted Scotty. He's down in Kentucky, stayed overnight. I think I saw Megan in the winner's circle, so hopefully they get some time to relax, go to eat, have a few drinks. So his answers were brief. I didn't want to get into it with him tonight about, I didn't want to ask him about Arson. He gave me all the information he could, which I already knew anyway. Memory and Imagination, a little bit flat, but a pretty good last half. The horse in there that I was very impressed with, actually, was Pickpocket. His gait wasn't perfect. Mechanically, was he great? No. I would say he was a B+, A- as far as gaits go. But when he had room, shot up the inside. And if he had any room, he was an easy third. And most importantly, is what I was told after, was that he scoped clean. No blood. It was great. So we're heading in the right direction as we head in the right direction. I don't think he's probably going to need those mushroom bars on in Kentucky. Softer track. I'm sure Eric is, obviously, if he's not bleeding, I do believe his feet pose a huge problem. I think all his issues we can work on. So with Pickpocket's heading in the right direction. But today, I was a little disappointed with Memory and Imagination, but maybe twice in his life he threw in a clunker. Maybe. Can't be too upset with that horse. The only horses I thought were flat today was Memory and Imagination and Grand Slam Dio. Disappointed and almost angry with Westland Warrior. If I make a trip down to Kentucky, you know, I want to talk to Eric about this cut on his ankle, because if he's able to train on Friday, I will be in Lexington, Kentucky Friday morning. Need to get these horses prepped and ready to go for Lexington. No more than the ones that are running in. We got to figure that out and get them squared away. I'm pretty sure Memento Mori did this when he was in the 2-hole in his first start down there. He gets running in because he gets touching his jack, gets running in, and it's tough to get him off that line. Tough to get him off that jack, but I think in Kentucky we get a much better shot to do it than we did in Oak Grove. So some changes will be coming for Memento Mori for sure. Shoeing changes. So Gymboree, thoroughly pleased with her. Great job with her. And I'm certainly not blaming anybody for Grand Slam Dio. It could just be that she's rather ordinary right now. Maybe she's just a big filly that needs some time. I don't know. But there's no beating around the bush. She's either good enough or she's not. We'll race her. If she's not, we'll race her 2 or 3 more times in Kentucky and turn her out probably. Still got her entire 3-year-old season. There's no point boo-hooing because she's not good enough. Can't be sad because she just doesn't have the ability to do what we need her to do right now. He's a nice filly with lots of deep pedigree, so I'm sure we'll be fine either way. But I would like to get a nice 2-year-old mark on her. That would be nice also. And then I watched Pickpocket, Memory and Imagination. Both of them trotted 54 and 4, 28 and 1, 28 and 2 on the end of it. I do expect a little bit more, but thoroughly pleased to hear the Pickpocket didn't bleed at all, and a little disappointed with Memory and Imagination. But that didn't last long, as Arson absolutely jogged 50 and 1 again in Oak Grove. A good mile for him. I didn't dare ask Scotty what he thought of 6 days from now racing him in the Adios. You got to remember, guys, that the most heartbreaking thing I heard last night was in the speech of Legendary Hanover. They said he was going to the Adios. Well, that sucks. So we'll see. We'll see what Scotty says, but I suspect he'll be leaning a little more conservatively. I don't know, but I will stay out of it, and I'll simply ask him, what do you think? And then Memento Mori's race. Yeah. Do I think he should have won? Yeah, I think he should have won, but I think he should have been steering a little bit better. And it just didn't, you know, you beat a nose. What are you going to do? It sucks. It's a $25,000 nose. And it's not like he was a long shot. He was a favorite. Well, a second favorite. The favorite run, which made him immediately the favorite. So Kentucky was good. It wasn't bad. A little disappointed that Mori got beat a nose. A little disappointed with Memory. A little disappointed with Grand Slam Dio. But very, very happy with Gymboree. Very happy. I guess you can be upset and happy. Maury did trot in 57, did get beat a nose, and did race well again. And Arson was absolutely fantastic. Now we went over to Ohio. I had made my video after I warmed up Oh Hill No. I was hopeful. Then we had a rainstorm blow in there. The track wasn't the greatest, but my only hope at that point was, I know this filly's going to trot. Maybe we'll get some breakers. Maybe we'll see how she is. You know what? I was wrong. She's a nice filly. Trotted 2-2 last quarter in 31 seconds. Last half in looks like a minute and a piece. But was okay. She wasn't a gold filly. So she'll go back to the Stallion Series division. Buckeye division, where I'm sure she'll be fine. Aunt Lily, you guys can tell. You guys knew. You got the updates all week about her and AJ not being the healthiest all week, I didn't really want to be able to have to put her on the front. But when you're 2 to 5, there's not a ton of people looking to get you in behind. They want to follow you, right? And quite frankly, is it better to sit in the 2-hole with a hotter pace, or better to tramp on the brakes a little bit and get a mile that mathematically makes more sense for her physical state? Now, I don't know. Maybe she was 100% on race night. I don't know. You really would only see after the race, right? It's hard to quantify that. Blood was okay, scope was okay, she's eating good, no temperature, but she was sick in the middle part of the week. And as I said to one of our partners, Randy, after the race, we were talking about it, I said, you know what, if you're sick Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you don't put that bowl of chicken noodle soup down and Thursday afternoon go play basketball, right? You ease back into your more normal schedule. You're zapped a little bit, and that's how she felt. Now, the one thing I did notice also about Aunt Lily was, when I let her, now in Scioto, she ran off and jogged, and I never released her, right? I had a real big hold of her going through the wire, you know, had the earplugs in her ears, she jogged. Well, tonight when I did release her, it only took about 4 pylons before I realized she was tired. She felt like she was struggling in her hobbles. They were tight. She doesn't need a tight hobble, but really tough to change them after the next generation, so we didn't. Now, 2 things came of that race tonight. Told Jason the hobbles need to go out 3-4 holes. Quite a bit for Aunt Lily. She doesn't need them tight anymore. She doesn't need the handcuffs on. Just let them out. Let her trot. And secondly, it allowed me to give myself a chance to warm up Freedom Hill and say to myself the same thing. Another filly with a pretty sweet gait. She doesn't need her hobbles tight. I let them out about 5 holes between the warm-up, and by the time we went to the gate, they went out about 5 holes, and she was awesome tonight. Sucking wind a little bit. For those of you who are horsemen, you'll know what I'm talking about. We'll fix that tomorrow. But Freedom Hill was, I don't want to say freakishly good. The horse that beat her was freakishly good. I thought I had him too. I saw him coming 3 wide. I saw him right there in my rear view mirror. I dropped the hammer, and I really didn't think he'd be able to run me down. As Callie would say, by Jesus, he did. He did. He ran me down. She raced good. The filly that beat her, I think, is probably one of the top fillies in the division. She just got there at the wire. I think Freedom Hill is going to have we're going to have a lot of fun with those 2 fillies this year. I don't have to tell you. Just simply go back and look at the next generation race. Look at the race tonight from Aunt Lily. Go back and look at the videos as I'm trying to explain it to everybody all week that she's a little bit under the weather, and it's not hard to see what happened tonight. She was zapped, a little bit tired, but I guarantee you the next time they race she won't be. And I think you're going to see the Aunt Lily from Scioto Downs last week show up, and maybe even a better version, because I think her hobbles do need to go out. So thoroughly happy with the way Freedom Hill raced. 58-4, 29 flat in the end of it. Last half 58-1. Just a great mile by her. Raced her butt off and got beat by the same filly that I told you it wouldn't be as easy to beat her in Northfield, but he still beat me. He still run me down. Mocha Hill. I think you're going to hear a lot about this filly this year. She is a very, very good-looking filly. So both our fillies raced good, but admittedly did get beat. And I think there's a clear path for both of them to reverse that next time they race. I thought they both raced their butt off. Greatest ending was flat. I can almost tell you what happened between the rain and the time in between the races and the delay. Then I went out in the track, and when he's trotting slow, he doesn't look very good. The veterinarian came out and she said, Anthony, could I see you score him? Now, usually you turn him the right way and go, but if I just scored him, he would have been gone. I'm thinking, I don't want this horse to tie up, Doc. What I should have done is just said, hey, would you mind if I scored him down in the post parade? Would you mind, rather than the warm-up? But no, I didn't. I just jogged him a little quicker the right way, the wrong way of the track. He seemed fine when we came in, but I can almost guarantee you when we pull his blood tomorrow, his AST is going to be quite high. Not, oh my God, he's going to need 2 weeks off high, but high enough where you're like, yeah, that sucks. I think you're probably going to see an AST of probably 3,000 or 4,000. No, you're going to see a CK of 3,000 or 4,000. You're probably going to see a much lower, what the hell is that? A much lower AST, but it will get up there tomorrow. You know what? We get picked off with Freedom Hill, and I know they're not, obviously the purse money isn't the same. We get picked off with Freedom Hill fair and square. Beat us fair and square at the wire. Aunt Lily, a little tired, a little worn out, but she'll bounce back. And then Greatest Ending, you know, the racing gods shone on our way. I feel bad, the Angus kid. I saw it unfold, but I couldn't tell whether he touched his front legs. The other kid, Wyatt, there was near a calamity. I watched it all unfold. I'm like, I get a big giant horse and a big giant bike, and I will plow through everybody. You better not fall down in front of me. And Greatest Ending, it's almost like he was just watching them. But I really, when I thought I moved him 3 deep, I thought he was gone. Half in 56 and 2. I'm thinking 52. He's going to jog. Instead, he just kind of hung out there and got beat. 54 and 1, fair and square. But then all at once was a winner again as they set back the downtown bus for some interference. So I feel bad a little bit for the kid, but hey, we're all out there trying to make money, and we got the job done in a little bit unorthodox way, but still got the job done with Greatest Ending. Stay close. I thought race great. If you saw, I just finished up right on the guy's helmet. I'd really know where to go. And then after the race, Tim had texted me and said, he actually does fit the numbers of 6,500 at the Meadows next Saturday. Perfect. Wasn't used too hard tonight. I noticed he was sharper tonight. I noticed him leave a lot better. If I don't get stuck in behind Chip Eater, say if I get away in the 2-hole behind Here Comes Charlie B, I think probably 3rd, maybe second. But he raced good. But nevertheless, half-mile track is not really his forte. He can go over and race in the numbers of 6,500 next week, next Saturday, hopefully, on what will be a big day for us. I can't hope that Legendary Hanover is heading to the Adios. There isn't much I can do about that. Time is on my side. He has nothing else on his dance card. He is going to be there, so we'll race at least those 2 horses and whoever else we can next Saturday. And as far as Arson, guys, listen, I'll talk to Scott, but if I'm going to be completely honest and completely frank, if I owned all of Arson, he's not going to the Adios. I know there's a lot of people like, I want to see him race at the Adios. I get that. I understand that you want to see him race at the Adios, but what is best for Arson is what we're in the business of doing. And shipping him on 6 days' notice back to Pennsylvania to race against horses he may or may not be able to beat and tangle with, only to ship back to Kentucky 8 days later, that's a big ask. So as I said, I'm going to leave it up to Scott. I'm going to talk to him, and we will decide whether he goes to Pennsylvania or not. So that's the fairest way to do it. The guy who knows him better than anybody right now in real time would be Scott Zeron. So let's ask him. I can't ask him, hey, do you think he can beat Legendary Hanover? But can he be competitive in the Adios? Okay, if he gets a decent trip. That's a fair question. And Scott only wants what's best for him too. He's looking to keep the drive in Lexington, I'm sure. So let's just defer this. Let's table this until I talk to Scotty. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Probably have a little more in-depth. I'm going to sleep on it tomorrow. Fresh day tomorrow. Fresh as a daisy tomorrow morning. I might have another in-depth look at what took place tonight. But as I said, yeah, the greedy side of me wishes that instead of Ron Burke winning all the stake races, we did. Right? Tough guy to race against. But Aunt Lily gave a good showing. And I'm going to tell you something. I race all summer against Brink Street. I think I beat her more times than she beats me with Aunt Lily. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know Brink Street well enough. But Aunt Lily was not on her game tonight, and I think that was well documented all week. She did the best she could. Freedom Hill was on her game, raced fantastic, beat fair and square by Mocha Hill. But you know what? I want to take another run at her next time too. And I'd be happy to dodge her also. That'd be fine with me. But Freedom Hill raced great, and happy we got the win with Greatest Ending, and Stay Close raced good also. So a good night across the board. No real, we don't really need to cry into any handkerchiefs tonight. Horses in Kentucky raced pretty good. Horses in Ohio raced pretty good. Pretty happy across the board. Could always be happier, but remember, could always be worse. So with that, I'll let you go. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful, you guys got to be in bed. Have a nice breakfast. Take care.